Hi, my name is Alna from alnakane.com. And about a week ago, I asked on the YouTube community and in my email list to ask some freelance writing questions that I can answer. So this is a Q&A answering questions for brand new freelance writers. Some of them are my students as well for Write to 1K. I'm here to help you. I'll try to answer as much as I can, but just remember, some of the questions I may not answer because they could be information that my course students paid, right? So I'll do the best that I can, but I can't reveal everything because it would be disrespectful to my students. So I'm going to help you as much as I can for sure, because that's what I'm here for. And I'm always excited to hear success stories from you guys about you guys landing your first client, especially if you take my free course, Get Paid to Write, which is right here on my homepage. But let's get to the questions. So this is Maria's question. She has a couple questions for me. She posted this on my YouTube community page, as well as I believe in my newsletter when I asked everyone to reply with some questions. So her first question is, how many niches should we as a beginner opt for, as I really want to be serious with my writing and can't afford to face any mistake? My selected niches: B2B SaaS, content marketing, luxury lifestyle, ink, fashion, and travel. All right, my suggestion is see if you can merge these niches together. You can be a B2B writer in the fashion and travel niche, right? Because you got to think of that industry and what products they're using to market to each other. What overall company is marketing to the fashion and travel company, right? So you can focus your B2B SaaS with fashion and travel if you want, or you can focus your B2B SaaS with content marketing. But even that you can add as the type of skill or writing skill that you're going to be doing for these fashion and travel companies. Do you understand what I mean? Let's see about B2B travel companies. All right, so there's agencies, travel companies. So here's a good article about the integral role of B2B travel agent in offering corporate travel solutions. So this is more corporate level. So as you dig down into understanding your ideal niche, you can see how you can merge these if it's possible to merge these two types of ideas together. So this is just, all right, so here, BCD Travel, GPT is a leader in corporate travel management solutions. GPT offers comprehensive solutions from booking to expense management, right? So that might be sort of your ideal client when you think about it. So go ahead and type in those keywords into Google and see what you get. I think there is some potential in the B2B niche for travel, especially here. I didn't look at the other, was it fashion? I think I didn't look into that, but definitely there are companies, and you can even merge this with tech. You know, like fashion, beauty tech is a huge industry, and I'm sure with fashion there could be fashion tech, smart apps and things for fashion apparel and luxury goods and things like that. So do your initial research, but it does seem like there is opportunity in this industry because not many people probably are marketing the B2B travel niche. Maria also asks, what kind of people or the individual client profile would fall under the umbrella of content marketing, as I need to be specific with my niche to show my expertise and be a specialist, not a generalist. All right, well, as I walked you through the B2B sort of travel niche, you can go from there and see the type of clients that they term themselves. Since I am not familiar with this, I can't really tell you what they are, what kind of people would fall under it. Usually when I pick my niche, the digital marketing niche, I look at blogs that talk about digital marketing and I look at the audience. If there's comments, I read the copy to see who they're marketing to. Are they saying content creators? Are they saying entrepreneurs? Are they saying small business owners? That can tell me who they're marketing to. So when you start looking into the B2B fashion niche, the B2B travel niche, to see if maybe you can merge those two together in some capacity or not, then you can look and see if they have landing page copy to see who they're marketing to. And that would be your ideal ICP. And then the last question, should I create separate portfolios for all three niches? Like I said, if you can merge them, I would have one portfolio that has these. You know, on my portfolio, I do split up copywriting with digital marketing, social media marketing, blogging, and WordPress. So WordPress is not marketing, it's more tech, but I have it here as a separate category. So I can click on WordPress and then you can go to my WordPress articles here. That's what I did. So here it looks like I have several niches, but everything falls under the digital marketing. Copywriting is a new service, so I don't consider that a niche. And then WordPress is separate from the marketing aspect that I read about. So you can do it that way. All right, Owen asks, would you be happy to review my cold pitch to see if there's a way to improve it? If you are a Write to 1K student of mine, I do review your pitches, whether whether it's a guest post pitch, a magazine pitch, a cold pitch, a job board pitch. I will review that for you. So if you are a student, you can go ahead and share your cold pitch with me. The second question, I write on Medium while simultaneously sending cold pitches. Is there anything else I can do at the same time to increase my chances of finding clients? Yeah, I believe there are many opportunities. Now on Medium, I haven't had the best luck in finding clients. It could be because I am marketing my brand to like moms and other freelancers. So maybe that's the reason why, although I do write about digital marketing in some aspect, but I am not actively seeking clients on Medium. I think it would be a better bang for your buck, Owen, if you go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a powerhouse for finding clients. It's one of my number one methods to finding clients. And recently I've been hanging out on LinkedIn more. So I've been getting more inquiries about it. Actually, I just wrote a blog post about this. My latest blog post is, can you land a content writing job in December? And in here, I talk about to be active on LinkedIn. So it's necessary nowadays for freelancers to market on LinkedIn. Now, using LinkedIn was one of the methods I used to land freelance writing work back when I first started, but it continues to be a strong marketing method for me today. So in November, I decided to post more consistently on LinkedIn. I talk about my successes, my digital marketing niche, and about freelancing on the platform. So here's an example of one of my posts that I have hashtags. 3 is a good number to stick to, just 3 hashtags, and then the impressions of what I get. I also read other LinkedIn posts and comment when possible. So if there's a copywriter that I follow, an editor that I follow, or content lead that I follow, I try to read their posts and answer in a way, because when you do answer, it shows your title. So when you answer it, it does show this beginning part of my title. So then that person will know, oh, she's a B2B SaaS content writer. And then over the years, LinkedIn has become a bit oversaturated, of course. There's a lot of bro marketers, but make sure you're only following important leaders in your industry. So those are mostly content leads, CEOs, strategists, copywriters, freelancers. And then I talk about, well, how can you do this? If you're already busy, if you're already writing on Medium a lot, maybe focus on writing on LinkedIn. Try writing 3 times a week on LinkedIn, just a post. And they can be long form. I mean, I'm starting to write longer and longer LinkedIn posts, and they're getting more and more impressions. And then here in my inbox on LinkedIn, I was getting some leads, which is not bad because I don't post every single day and I don't post 3 times a week, but I try to post as much as I can. All right, so try that instead of focusing on Medium. Maybe you'll have better luck on LinkedIn. The next question is, this is a random question, but I like creating AI generated images and artworks. Do you have any suggestions on how and where I could sell them? I honestly don't know right now, Owen. There's so much legalities around AI content, selling AI content, so you have to be careful with that. A lot of companies don't give you the copyright to the content you produce, so make sure to read whatever AI platform you're using if you can use those images. I do use AI images, but I don't sell them. Just be careful with that. But I do know one blogger is selling some images, or maybe what they're doing is they're selling a workshop on how to create those images with Dolly or some platform. So maybe you can do that instead, instead of selling them, use them as a marketing material and then have workshops on how to do that. That could be a nice avenue or a side hustle, but do your research on seeing if you can put those images on mugs, on t-shirts. I have no idea about that. And I don't know Redbubble. I don't know that store. I don't do e-commerce, so I don't know much about that side of the business. So do your research, ask other people. Maybe on Medium, you'll find sellers on Etsy. Go to the Etsy and see if you see generated images, and then you can inquire about how they're selling that. All right, Sibby asks, how many revisions should I offer my client, and how would this apply across different forms of content? Well, I do a standard of the number of revisions that I do. I only offer 2 revisions. Usually it just needs 1, and usually clients don't ask me for a revision. It's very far and few between. I believe in the last 5 years, only 1 client has asked me to fix some content on it. Otherwise, I get paid for the content that I give my client. So in your services page, or when you're negotiating a deal, you can let them know, say, hey, I do offer 2 revisions. You can say in your negotiation process that you offer some revisions and what that entails if you want. That doesn't come across when I do my negotiations, I don't really talk about that. If the client is not happy, I always just say, well, let me me revise it and see what you think. And that usually solves the problem for me. The next question, when repitching for recurring businesses with a client, should I keep it in the same email thread as the first pitch, or do I need to start a fresh thread? You talked about this in your 1K writing class, but I had a hard time understanding. Right, so I guess, Sibby, you are in my class. Thank you for asking these questions. For your second question, there is a post thread about sort of the follow-up process. And I don't know if I answered this question, but there was a question about keeping it in the same thread. But the answer is yes, I would keep it in the same thread. Clients and people get emails all the time. I get hundreds a day. And so I like to keep a thread. So you want to keep it in the same email. It's only with client work, and I do that with client work, I keep it in the same thread. It's only with producing a new piece of content for them that I'll put a new email, like I'll write a new email to them, because by that time they know who I am. Hopefully that helps you. If not, post again in the Facebook group for my course students, and then we can rehash that again. All right, I have a couple questions here from Ugachi, Rayan, and Darius, and one down here. Maybe Nakari. What can I do to get my first writing job? I haven't gotten any since the year started. Now it's about to end. Well, I don't know what marketing methods you're using at the moment. I did talk about using LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great platform to get started with. So go to my blog. I do have a post on LinkedIn, and I do have my latest post about if you can land clients in December. So if you want to land clients now, then go and read that blog post. I shared it already. So take a look at that. And the next one, which work I have to do on, what type of work do I have to do on my website? Please, I have a shortage of money. I want to start this work quickly. Okay. If you don't have the funds to create a website for your writing business, then don't do it. Do something else. Market something else. There are lots of different methods to get your work up there. One of them is Contently. So you type in Contently portfolio like that, and then you can sign up to the Contently portfolio, but I'll show you mine. So here is my Contently portfolio. You can use Contently, but when you do sign up, you do need to have, I think they're being a bit more stringent on the application process. So you do need 7 different articles from different places. So that may not be doable for the brand new writer. Also, they didn't approve my portfolio, which I've had for several years. So I had to go through the process again. I believe they're getting spammed with a lot of people just publishing their portfolios for marketing, or not marketing, for spam reasons, I guess. But I've had mine for many, many years, so I'm surprised that I was knocked down. So I had to reapply again. But this is what it is. I do have clients here from WordTune, from Walmart, from Zapier, Smart Blogger. I have lots of clients here. Blogging Wizard, Opt-in Monster, lots here. Snaptaxi. These are old clients of mine, so maybe they don't have the article up anymore. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I suggest. If you have guest posts in other places, maybe 7 different places, you can still try and see if you can get in. But another option for a portfolio is just to use your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile will have clients. It'll be like your resume. So that is a nice indicator for potential leads to look at your profile on LinkedIn. So do that more than Contently, because that might be a harder way to get into. And there's probably other portfolio platforms, even something like Medium. You can put a little blurb of what you do and then have some samples there. So hopefully that'll help you. And Darius, what is some insights from you about starting a blog? How hard is it to get going, and will it involve any upfront money? Well, over on my blog, I do have a post here that I update as much as I can of how to start a blog. And if you need a blog as a writer, I suggest you have one. It's not necessary. I mean, as long as you have a service-based website like I have here that just has a landing page, who you help, what you do, and then a portfolio section for your content. For the longest time, I did have a blog on this website, but then I moved it to alnakane.com. That's something to consider. You do want to try and build your brand, and a blog can help you build a brand. There is some initial investment up front. You can get started, I believe, all in everything around $200 if you pay for the 3 years, which I suggest. I wouldn't pay for the first year for hosting here. I do recommend Bluehost. It is the cheapest option, but I would do the 3-year lock-in for 3 years at least. That's just my suggestion, because you do save money that way. But like I said, if you don't want to invest in that, if you don't think you're going to actually create content, then don't do it. But otherwise, a blog is a big commitment. It's like another client. Treat your blog as a client. Lately, I haven't been writing as much. As you can see, I wrote in October, not in November, and then December. But I have a lot of content on this blog. So when I first started, I was writing 2 to 3 times a week for 6 to 10 months. And then after that, I was publishing when I could, which was about once a week. And then after that, when life got too busy, I have too many clients at that time, then I only wrote when I could. And now I don't need to write as often. I've had this blog for 8-9 years. So I don't write as often as possible. Another thing too is if you're going to start a blog, it needs to be sort of this thought leadership type of blog to really get noticed as a brand. You need to come in with your blog with some actionable educational type of advice. Sure, you can start a lifestyle blog. I mean, I have lifestyle niches. One of them is Sponge Hacks here, which is just a niche website. So I just have fun Pinterest loving type of content. Pinterest loves ideas. So I have lots of different ideas here for Pinterest marketing kind of thing. But as a digital marketer, this is what I'm doing. I'm applying my knowledge so that I become a thought leader as a digital marketer, content marketer kind of thing, because I do have all these sites and I'm marketing on Pinterest. And I'm learning what works on Pinterest. So you can do something like that if you want, but if it's for your freelance business, you can. There's a lot of freelance writers that have their own blog, right? They write when they can, which is usually probably once a month. And they write like leadership content. I follow Kat Bogard, and if you go to her site, you can see that she has a blog down here. And if I click on more, the last time she wrote was last year in 2022, right? But she gets known on social media. She connects with people on Twitter. She does interviews with other writers. She has a newsletter that she updates every week that I'm a part of her newsletter. So she connects in other ways than on her blog. It's okay if you don't write as often, but if you want to build that brand quickly, then I would consider writing good content weekly, at least once a week. When I write content, I write like thousands of words. Like these are 11 tactics. So like I go into like all of the 11 tactics here with examples, with screenshots. I mean, it's a big undertaking. As you can see, I have videos and I have these lead magnets that I put into my blog to grow my email list. So that's another avenue with blogging, is to have an email list. You don't have to, but it does make sense if you want to connect with readers. So it is kind of a big underfee. I mean, I have several blogs, so I cannot work with a lot of clients. There are other writers out there that work with 10 to 12 freelance writing clients. The most I can work with is 3. And even that is pushing it because I have other blogs and other things to grow my brand. This one, which keyword research tool would you advise a really broke newbie freelance blogger to use? I really like Ahrefs, but I can't afford it. I would like to use a free tool. Ahrefs does have a free keyword generator, so you can use this. You don't get a lot of information, but I mean, it does work. So apartment ideas, I don't know if this is a keyword or not, but you would just type in your keyword. I got a result of just one, but if I just did, Christmas crafts, I'm spelling, there you go. So you get more for Christmas crafts. The volume is not that high. So digital marketing, you can see that the volume is high, but the keyword density is high as well. Numbers that reach 100, these are very hard to rank for. I mean, HubSpot is probably ranking for these. But there are some lower ones here, like digital marketing jobs. That's something that I could even write about on Alma Kane if I wanted to on my blog about digital marketing jobs. So that gets 10,000 searches. It's a keyword density of 12, so it's easier to rank for. So this is a nice tool. I like using it. I use Ahrefs, a paid version, but I like this version as well. So that's something free. And then I recommend to my bloggers Keyword Hero. It's a Chrome extension and it's free to use. So you just grab it here and then it works when you are searching on Google. You just turn it on and it works. It gives you the keyword density, the different types of keywords that are related to the one that you plugged into Google. Lots of good information about that. So you can try that. And those are the 2 that I strongly recommend that are free. And then you can use something like social media as well. I know Pinterest has some good keywords too. So you can just type in, here's home bulletin. And so here it gives me more ideas here about home bulletin board ideas, journal ideas, home bulletin board ideas with command centers for preschool. Look at all these different types of articles that you could write about the home bulletin board. So for preschool, if you're in the educational niche, this could be a topic, right? It's popular on Pinterest. And then you can cross-reference this in Google, type this into Google and see what type of websites are using that keyword to market their brand. And you get an idea if that's a good keyword to focus on. If you don't have a paid keyword tool, sometimes something like this into the free generators will not give you any results back because it's too niche down. All right, Patrick, which nature of content are clients actually looking at or looking for? It's all dependent on your writing niche. The clients that I attract are obviously interested in the content that I produce on LinkedIn and on my portfolio page. So if a digital marketing content lead looks at my portfolio, they see that I am well versed in copywriting. But then they look, okay, under digital marketing, I write about email marketing. I write about AI in business. I write about original research. I write about tailoring your content for the buyer persona, sales page, content marketing, email list again. All of this they can look at quickly to see that, wow, okay, she writes good content ideas. My clients are definitely looking at that type of writing that I do. And then on LinkedIn, I have the same type of client work. I have WordTune up there and GoDaddy up there and SmartBlogger up there. So they can quickly see the clients that I've worked with and the content that I produce. Some clients don't care what other clients you've worked with. They just care about the content that you produce. So as long as you can display that somewhere on your blog, portfolio page, on LinkedIn, then that's what the client's going to look towards. But there's also going to be clients that are looking for more from their writer. So I posted on my LinkedIn profile recently about this. So I just saw this. Google is playing with adding social media followers in the SERPs. I heard about this, but never saw it on my brand until now. So if you can look, when I searched my name, I got follower counts under my profiles. At LinkedIn, I have almost 5,000, YouTube, almost 18,000, and 4,000 in Instagram followers. Now, is this going to hurt freelancers? I ask. It may if the brand is looking more for a thought leader or subject matter expert for their content strategy. If you're not ready to be a thought leader in your expert topic that you write about, then this doesn't apply to you. All right. But if you want to be a thought leader in the topic that you write about, that you want to be termed an expert writer in that topic, then perhaps having your brand be a focus. All right. So that means having social media profiles, connecting with people to grow your followers, starting an email list, and maybe starting a blog. But you don't have to. If you're very present on social media, you don't need a blog. That's something to think about when clients are looking at you. Now, I know for a fact that Walmart was looking at my Pinterest followers. I have like 60,000 followers on Pinterest. It's my highest follower account. And so they were really happy about that. And that was probably one of the reasons why they reached out to me. All right. Nikki asks, how should you best structure a contract with a client? Are clients more open to retainers or more traditional form of payment? What is appropriate to introduce the idea of retainers, white paper? I don't really work with retainers too much. I work with one-off pieces, or I work with sort of like a ad hoc nature. So one of the clients that I am onboarding right now, they told me that they have these slides that they want me to look over and optimize, but I may only get 1 or 2 a week. So that's fine. If I get 1 or 2 a week and it takes me no more than 30 minutes to optimize, then I don't let the client, I'm like, well, let's put this on retainer. I really don't do that because for me, my life gets in the way. Things happen, especially with twins. They get sick. I can't work as much. I personally don't like retainers, but if that makes you more confident in being a freelance writer, then you can set that up in the negotiation process. So as you are negotiating with the client and they're telling you their project needs, you can ask them, say, can we put this on retainer? I can assure you that I can write 1 white paper of 3,000 words a month plus 3 social media posts per week for your business. Let's put that in retainer. This will cost this, and then we can set up a retainer for that. Like, you can do that if you want, but that's not my style and that's not my teaching methodology at all. So that's something that you can ask around other freelancers that do this, but I am more than happy to talk to the client what they need, give them the work, and then they pay me. That works beautifully for me. As far as a contract, I do have a post that I've been updating on my site called Creating an Effective Freelance Writing Contract, Sample Template, Tips, and What You Need to Know. I do have a video as well. Here's a sample contract that I got from one of my clients. I don't know which one this was, but it was either way, this is a sample contract that they give to all of their freelancers and people that work for them. So you can see that here's another one here with lots to fill out. So with the contract, I don't create a contract myself. I would need a lawyer to approve that, and it costs costs money and it's not necessary. I feel it's not necessary for the type of clients that I work with. For example, with GoDaddy, they use Upwork to make sure everything is legal, and they pay me through that platform. With other clients, I send them my PayPal invoice and then they pay me through PayPal. So that's what happens. But you can read this blog post to get an idea of what to include if you want to do a contract. And I think there are some templates that you can use and pay for. One of my students is a freelance lawyer, and so she has legal contracts. So this is something that if I need to come in with a contract, then I will just purchase this and have an agreement. Like, this is the agreement that we go through, and it's been vetted by a lawyer. So that's your best bet. I do have a link. I am an affiliate for Miriam. She is a course student of mine. I do trust her. I have bought her website, privacy policy, templates, and all of that too, because it is, again, from a lawyer. And so I don't want to be accused of anything. So I have this as safety for me. Again, you can go through this blog post. If I remember, I'll drop a link to it. If not, you can just type in Elna Kane contract, and then you'll get this blog post. Write to 1K student asks, I have different writing projects about 3 different niches. I have started posting on separated social media accounts and plan to have blogs very soon on the same niches. But is it possible for a newbie freelance writer to have different blogs and to have credibility? I personally wouldn't have 3 different blogs. That's too much for you. I did not start with that many blogs. I started with my Innovative Inc. and then a year later, my Elna Kane blog, and that was it. And then a year later, I added Twins Mommy. And then many years later, I added more blogs. All right. Because I was raising my rates. I didn't have to work with many clients. I had more free time. And then I focused on my brand that way. So if you don't want to do brand building and you don't want to grow in that fashion, I wouldn't have 3 different blogs. You can market your niches on one site as long as they make sense. I wouldn't have like a freelance writing niche that was like pets, and then you do digital marketing, and then you do wedding relationship building and wedding planning or something like that. Like something that are just so varied. If it's more lifestyle based, then term yourself as a lifestyle content writer or a lifestyle B2B writer, right? If it's lifestyle based. If it's more tech, if you see some tech that you can categorize all your niches, then term yourself as a tech writer, right? That writes about these different industries or these different topics. So try that for one website. You don't need to market differently. And if you want, you can market differently on different social profiles. So on Instagram, I focus more on moms and coaching. On Twitter, it's more following SEO people and brands. And then LinkedIn, it's brand building, but then connecting with digital marketing, social media marketing, email marketing, brands. So I do it that way. So you can try that as well. And how do you deal with writing about things you're not an expert in? A lot of my clients give me topic ideas that I'm not an expert in. So I do have to research for that stuff. I go to Google, I find stats, I read blog posts about the topic that I'm writing about. So my GoDaddy blog post about, where is it? AI in business. I know about AI writing tools. I don't know about AI in cybersecurity, right? So I had to learn all that stuff. But I did try to lean in on like the writing aspect of AI because like I talk about it here. Like, do you use Grammarly to fix your mistakes? How about a chatbot tool to bring in new customers? Well, that's all using AI. Like I reference some things that I know about, and then I talk about AI. This was all new to me as well. Like, what is AI? Breaking that down? Well, geez, that's a big topic. So I had to really go and talk about that, what machine learning was. This was all new to me. And it took me a longer time to write this blog post than it normally does for content that I know about, like email marketing principles or social media marketing or digital marketing stuff. But that was fine. I spent more time on this, researching and learning about it and writing about it, than my other content. I still got paid. I was still happy with it. It's still a byline piece, and this will help me land more work in SaaS because GoDaddy is a SaaS business. So even though it took me longer than normal to write this blog post, I'm still very proud of it. And that's why it's like number 2 on my portfolio under digital marketing. I am more interested in the brand than the content that I write. 10 best freelance websites has nothing to do with digital marketing. I'm still going to put it under digital marketing because GoDaddy is a SaaS brand. That's what I want people to know, and clients or potential clients to look at and say, hey, okay, she not has 1, but she has 2 GoDaddy blog posts. She has many blogging wizard stuff. Like, they can go and look and see my content on different SaaS businesses. So hopefully I answered your question about the writing about things you're not an expert in. I have projects aside of my freelance writing goal. Okay, writing a fantasy novel, ebooks, does that count for portfolio stuff? It all depends. Do you want to get clients in the fantasy novel genre? Do you want to be a ghostwriter for fantasy novel authors? If that's possible, then if that's something you want to do, then go for it. Go and market it. If it's not, it's something not related, then don't include it. I write about cleaning and home decor on my other website, but I'm not going to add that as a service that I also write about cleaning products and home decor stuff because I don't want those clients. I don't want to write about it. It's just my own passion project. Jamila asks, I live outside of the US and one of the best places to look for clients. I feel I've tried every possible website for beginners. Well, I do have a lot of videos on YouTube about different websites, so you can try that. I'm not in the US, I'm in Canada. So even on LinkedIn, you can try to find clients. Like if I go to my home feed, I often get here jobs recommended for you that are in Canada. So if I wanted to, I can work with companies in Canada if I wanted to, but I don't. I want to work with companies that are global. I get posts from global companies that reside in different countries. You just have to follow the right people and the right companies. So one of them is Beehive. So Beehive here is an email marketing platform. So I've been following them and learning about, especially Tyler here, who is a co-founder. I've been following the co-founder, like the person the thought leader, and reading his content and commenting on it right here. They are not in Canada. So I make it a point to find the SaaS businesses that don't reside in Canada and follow the co-founders, follow the content leads, follow the brand. I would definitely get to know the players in your industry first if you're not having luck with websites, and then maybe consider content agencies as sort of a beginner tier for you. I do have a video on how to find copywriting clients. I'll make sure to add a card here. So check that video out. That could help you maybe find some clients that way, but try to engage on LinkedIn and build your portfolio, follow a lot of people, try to get followers or connections on LinkedIn, and then the ball will start rolling eventually. Also, I think brand building is becoming bigger and bigger for 2024. Try that. That's a big feat and it'll take some time, but that could help you in the long run to get good quality clients. And also you need to know your ideal client. You need to know how to get to that ideal client. What are the businesses below that to get to your top tier client? These things you need to sort of strategize and understand. And I do talk about that in Write Your Way to Your First 1K. It's a big part of my plan to help people be successful as a writer. All right, the next question. I'm an aspiring content writer who lives outside the USA. What's the best payment methods that I could use for future clients? Well, I'm in Canada. I use PayPal. I don't know what other freelancers are using besides PayPal. So you're going to have to maybe post that out. Maybe I'll post that in my LinkedIn profile and see what kind of answers I get. So follow me on LinkedIn and I'll see what people are using for their payment methods as a freelancer, or on Twitter. I might do one of those two to see what people are asking. Twitter would probably be the best thing. Follow me on Twitter and then I'll post that and see what people say. Someone wants me to discuss the article structure, and I did post something similar on Medium, so we can dissect that a little bit. Over on Medium, I published right here the B2B article process for content writers. I do give sort of an overview. So the first thing when you're writing an article is to understand the client's brand, and you can get that from a content brief. Here's an example of a content brief. But again, I wasn't given this in the beginning as a freelance writer because I didn't work with businesses that had a content strategy or had a content brief in place. But this does help you. Making the most out of the brief, you make sure that you're reading it thoroughly and you use a note-taking strategy. You can use something like the Jim Quick's method. I learned this from another freelance writer, copywriter. So you just divide your notepad down the middle, and then you can have notes on one side and then answer the content brief on the other side. So from looking at this, I put the working title, which is 25 e-commerce trends to look for, the outlet, which is the name of the website, the length, the purpose, all of that I filled out. And then on the side were my notes. So look on Instagram for influencer trends for e-commerce brands. Look at TikTok for influencer trends. Here are some related keywords that I did some research on. So I put it here. Here are some more title suggestions because that was included in the title, in the content brief here, to have proposed titles, and then also have the meta description. So having that out on my side here. This can help me understand the content brief better, the idea better, and how I'm going to structure this article and where I'm going to find my examples. But what if the client doesn't give you a content brief? I do give suggestions here, so make sure you read that. If you don't get a content brief, what are you supposed to do? So there's some suggestions there. The next thing you need to know is the audience, the ideal customer profile. What are their challenges, their needs? What do they need to know or not know with the topic that you're writing about. Understanding the persona is key. Try to get in the shoes of the ideal persona and then focusing on an angle that would work for them. I did a lot of writing about Pinterest marketing for different brands and different clients, and I had to tailor it just a little bit different based on their customer profile. Who are they marketing to? Is it just entrepreneurs and solar business owners? Or is it like big B2B brands and content marketing agencies, for example? I will have different angles of the same topic. I do dive deep more into this in freelance blogging in a weekend. It's newly updated, so you can take a look at that if you want to. And then you need to find credible sources. That might mean getting expert quotes from subject matter experts. That might mean getting stats from reputable websites. That might mean using journal publications and research databases for your article. So here's using expert quotes. So you can just look on LinkedIn, for example. I get a lot of my quotes from there. So here's an example of Jen Hartman, who is the PR agency SEO. And so she gives a little thought leadership content here, and I can just pick and choose and then talk about it in my post. Also making sure to weave the product or service that the client has in some capacity if they want that. And there you go. That's an overview of writing an article. If you want more help, I do have a masterclass called Writing a B2B $1,000 Article. I do have an over the view or behind the shoulders look of how to write this article. Take a look at this course if this is what you want. I do give a detailed information about how I write these articles for my clients. All right, the next question. Thank you for this opportunity. Here are a few questions. I've been trying to warm pitch on LinkedIn to editors of journals, coaches, business owners, and others, but I get no response, not even accepting to connect. Seems like the more popular the company, the lower the chances of getting a response. My warm pitches are generally not pushy and friendly. Any advice on this? Have you tried other platforms to reach coaches and business owners and editors? Because Instagram has been wonders for me for coaches. Maybe try Instagram marketing. That can really help you. And you can focus on like women-owned businesses on the platform, and that could be sort of your niche. And as far as getting a connection, I mean, warm pitching can take a long time. For some brands, it could take like 6 months. So just get familiar with the editors and the content leads and just be mindful of following them on Twitter, following them on LinkedIn. I do follow a couple editors, so I do comment when possible if it just relates to what I'm thinking of at the moment. And then the next question, when I cold pitch potential clients, I search the contact details. You mentioned it's better to know the name of the person you're pitching to. Okay. Though most companies have so many editors, it's impossible to find their names. How do I do that? I tried going on LinkedIn, but these people won't accept the connections. And yes, does it really matter if I don't know the name of the person I'm cold pitching to? It does help if you know the name. So for example, like I found out through Beehive that he's a co-founder. So if I type in the company name and here's the page, you can go here to the employees and then you can see who the people are. So support is Darwin, the growth, digital marketing, and then co-founder here. You can click on these. A lot of these are follow and you can just follow them, right? Customer success, a copywriter. So with Tyler, I believe I'm following him as well. I don't know if I can message him though, can I? Yeah, so he's with Premium and I'm not with Premium, so I can't contact him, but I can interact with him on his posts. So if you can't message them, then just interact with them on their posts. And then, so like, I just do a rundown of the people here. So social media, if I can't find a content lead and I don't want to bug the CEO or the co-founder, then I need to find another person to pitch to. So something like her, I would go to her profile, look at her posts, and then start interacting with her on that post. If we can't message them, like I can't with Bella here, and that's fine, right? I can follow her right here instead. So I'm going to follow her instead. She has the option there. And then if I wanted to end up like working for Beehive and being a blog writer for them, maybe this will be my route this way. So I'm going to interact with her. And like I said, warm pitching takes time. Maybe you can try that. I do follow, like I said, a lot of co-founders, content leads, social media managers, strategists, and I do interact with them in posts. And then I try to find them on Twitter. So then you can DM them that way as well. If you don't know the email address, if you don't know the capabilities, if you're in my course, I do give you in the cold pitching lesson lots of different tools to find the email address. And it does matter if you know their name. If you don't, it just becomes too generic. It's not personal. You need to personalize these cold pitches. So Mark asks to do a rundown of acquiring a client and then invoicing. What I can tell you is that I do have a lesson in Write Your Way to Your First 1K, which is right here. Over the shoulder look at how I land work. I show you how I landed that client, what the emails are, what the project was, and how I got paid. It is in the course. This is information that I feel my course students would value a lot, and it would help them because it fits nicely in the content that I'm teaching in this course. And it wouldn't be such a great example on YouTube since I've already published it in a course. But I do have some information that I can sort of walk you through. Like I said, in my latest blog post, I do talk about how I landed this one client with being active on LinkedIn. And then on YouTube, I'm sure you've already watched it, but I do right here, 3 freelance offers and what I did to sort of get the attention of these clients, these potential job ads. So the biggest thing that I would focus on is attracting the clients, getting in front of the ideal clients. This one shows you some ideas. So hopefully that will help you. And then when you land the client, there's a whole negotiation aspect of it. Answering the questions that they ask, giving them some questions about the content, the timeline, rates, things like that you can discuss on the discovery call. And then usually the client gives you the project details and then you work from there. And then once you do the work, you submit it and the client hopefully will pay you and be happy with it. And you can submit your invoice after that. Say, please review this. Let me know if you have any questions. And then if they respond, I don't have any, then you respond, great. I'll give you the invoice at the end of the week or something. I'll send my invoice at the end of the week. And that's how you get paid. As far as payments, I use PayPal. I don't know of any other platforms. So you can ask other freelancers what they use. And I think I said I was going to do that. So I will post that I'll ask that on Twitter. And then I have written a dozen blogs that are outside of my niche. Do I add content marketing to my services or just silently offer services to clients I feel would need and appreciate them? You can definitely add content marketing because your proof is having different blogs. If these are blogs and not blog posts, because those are different. I have different blogs. I have a niche website for cleaning. I have one for parenting. I have one for mom blogs. Those are different blogs. So if you have different blogs like I do, then you can market that for your content marketing services. I know on my Hire Me page, I have here at the bottom my SEO efforts. So that's sort of my way of showing my content marketing. I can also mention that I have several blogs. I don't know if I mentioned it anywhere here, probably not, but I could do that and just say, as a content marketer, I also have these things. Maybe in my about page. Yeah, here. I have other blogs. I do market that, saying I come to the table with digital marketing knowledge firsthand, and that's my proof. I would definitely angle it that way, Mark. So try that and let me know how that worked. But like I said, I'm going to post that question on Twitter right after this. And if you have any more questions, just post them below. But I think I went through all the questions that I received through my email and through the YouTube community page. So hopefully that'll help you. If you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or you can take my free course, Get Paid to Write, which is a 6-day email course that gives you the tools to land your first client. So there you go. I'll see you in the next